Hey everybody, it's Fergie with RecordingCrave.com. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Sure do appreciate it. I'd love it if you would just take a second and click the subscribe button down below. Let's jump into this video right now. I want to talk to you about getting your snare drum to pop in a mix. Now, in modern rock music and pretty much rock music through the beginning of rock music, some of the main features that you'll hear in mixes are the kick drum, the snare drum, and the vocal. And then the guitar is sitting in that mix too. Predominantly, the kick and the snare are the driving force, and then the vocal. Sometimes it can be a challenge to get the snare to pop in the mix, and there are several ways to do it. I want to show you one way that I use on a regular basis that works pretty well for me. I'm going to play you this mix, and I'm going to show you what I have before we start to affect the snare. Okay, well, the snare sounds pretty good on its own, but I want to lift it in the mix a little more. I don't necessarily want to turn the volume up, but let's try a couple different things. I want to show you the difference between using EQ and putting saturation on the snare. Now, on the snare channel, I have the trim button up here just to control some of the gain that's coming into the channel. And then I'm using the Sheps 73 EQ. And I have about 3 different go-to EQs, and this is one of them. I love the EQ a lot. It works very well. And for compression, I'm using the CLA 76, and you can see my settings right here. The input, output, attack, and the release. And the ratio is set there. But I want to show you on the Sheps 73. The Sheps 73 has this drive button, which gives it a little bit of drive or saturation on the channel. So I'm going to play the track again, and then I'm going to engage the drive button. You can hear right away that snare just jumps out in the mix. It's fat. It added some top end without losing any thickness in the snare sound. Now I'm going to play that again, and I'm going to click the drive again, but I'm going to unclick the drive and then go and just add some top end and see what happens there. Here's the drive. Let's try to achieve the same results by just turning up the high end. Okay, you can hear the differences from adding high end on the snare versus adding the drive button on the snare on this Sheps 73. The drive button adds the top end probably at a different frequency, but it also keeps a thickness to the drum sound. Now, the subjective part comes in. If you like a little thinner sounding snare and adding more of the hi-hat in because we're adding more of the 12K frequency, then that will work for you as well. But for me, on this track, I love what the drive button did. Now, there's other saturation plugins that you can use that will achieve that same effect. And there's probably ways I could EQ at different frequencies by either using a different EQ or adding an EQ to this to get the same results that we did here. But this was a simple little thing. It didn't take me long to EQ the snare where I wanted it, and just to hit that drive button gets that snare exactly where I want it. So let's take a listen to it one more time, then we'll head out. Turn it off. I love that drive button. It works really well. But hey, thanks for watching. Again, if you would subscribe, I'd love it. And we will see you in another video. Have a great day, guys.